Welcome to An Old Man Running. I like to stick to one or two brands and get comfortable with them, and for running tops and bottoms, for me it's Vuori and Janji. Today I'm going to talk about the different things I like about both brands, and then I'll let you see my favourite items from each and talk about how I use them. Now, obviously brands appeal to people in different ways, but here's my key words for the brand style of each. Vuori gear is comfortable, it's chill, it's versatile, and it's understated. If it was a season, it would be late fall. Janji is more than its gear. My keywords for Janji and its gear are extrovert, innovative, fellowship, and caring. And maybe it's just the stuff I've bought, but if Janji was a season, it would be high summer. And even if you just glance at the hanger behind me, you get a feel for the difference between the two brands. And I'll show you all this gear later, but let me talk about the brands first. Which do I recommend between Janji and Vuori? Well, it kind of depends on what's important to you, so let me talk about 5 different areas and you can decide based on your own preferences. I'll talk about gear functionality, talk about style, sustainability, the company vibe, and pricing. In general, I prefer the Janji gear for my runs here in Florida and for races. I think Janji has carefully listened to what a runner needs, and if your focus is on the best specialist gear for running, you can't go wrong. I'm a road runner primarily, but if you're more trail oriented, then I think Janji is an especially great fit. And also, all the Janji gear I have is really lightweight, which I think makes a difference in the hot climate I live in here. However, I travel a lot, and if that's you, then I think Vuori gives more flexibility for combining gear for, say, travel, casual wear, and exercise. And also for cooler climates, I feel like there are more options from Vuori, so when I travel, it's Vuori gear I tend to take with me. With that focus on the gear is flexible for casual and sporting, it means that the Vuori gear tends to be simpler though, with less features than Janji, and particularly with their shorts, as I'll show you. From a style perspective, in general, I like to be understated. It's a function of being British and also of my age. I personally feel that anybody over 50 should tone it down. There's a restrained chicness to the Vuori gear that kind of hits the right note for me. And I'm pretty sure older runners with more conservative tastes are not Janji's target audience. But I do have one exception to my conservatism, and that is that I like to stand out in races or in my faster training runs. Janji gear and its brightness gives me a confidence and an extroversion that I feel makes me more competitive. Janji's just perfect for that. So if you're not as boring as me and age is just a number, then Janji's a brand you can really express yourself with. In addition to bright, solid colours, they have seasonal partnerships with artists and they produce short-run collections of really creative and unique prints. And having said that, even for boring old me, there's just enough restrained versions of all of Janji's gears to meet my tastes on my regular runs. On sustainability, if you're close to my generation, you probably get a hard time from your kids or younger colleagues about how we've all wrecked the planet from them. And I don't have a great record in sustainability, but it's never too late to start. And there I really admire Janji's efforts. Its charitable water projects, its extensive use of recycled materials, and its design focus on minimal washing requirements are all good examples of a way they can help you at least make some small contribution. Now, Vuori is in no sense a big bad corporation. It's a certified climate neutral company and it offsets 100% of its plastic footprint. It does have gear that has recycled polyesters, although it's generally a lesser percentage than Janji and less of their gear. But it also has a mandatory vendor code of conduct program that seeks to weed out exploitative labour. However, overall, there's a sense of Vuori doing an acceptable but uninspiring job in sustainability, whereas it seems core to Janji's business. In terms of company vibe, when I first started buying Vuori in 2020 or 2019, it had a small community exclusive vibe to it, which I liked, like you'd found a secret high quality product. And the quality and the look is still great, but there's no longer that smaller vibe. You're definitely engaging with an athletic lifestyle company rather than a running company. But it doesn't feel as impersonal or mass-produced as, say, Nike or Adidas might. Janji, in contrast, has captured that sense of community that runners, and especially trail and ultra runners, seem to have. You're primarily buying the gear to use it effectively. And with that purchase, you're also getting engaged in the same way you might with your running or your hiking friends. For example, there's a Slack channel with Janji to engage with others on runs, advice, and even gear exchange. And you can contribute direct to Janji's causes by joining the Janji Collective, which I'll talk about more. Then finally on pricing. Pricing wise, it feels like the Janji list prices tend to be a touch more than the Vuori ones, but their discounted sales and their offers are more frequent. And also, if you join the Janji Collective I mentioned, it costs a one-time $25, all of which goes to their water charity, and that gives you 15% off for life and early access to their latest production runs. Now, neither products are cheap, but Janji offers a 5-year guarantee, and all of my Vuori gear has lasted really well. So let me show you some actual gear now so you can decide if these two brands are for you. I'll cover running shorts with compression liners. I'll cover running shorts with kind of brief type liners. I'll cover running shorts unlined. Cover technical t-shirts. I'll cover sweatpants, and then I'll look at outerwear like shells. So these are the Janji 7-inch AFO multi-shorts. Really nice nylon spandex compression liner with good deep snug pockets on either side that you can get a soft flask in. The outer material is really light and wicks extremely well, but the key feature of these shorts for me is the waistband here, which is almost equivalent to a running belt. Let me show you in another pair of shorts I have here. So basically they've sewn what is essentially a running belt round the top of these shorts, and what you've got are little pockets all the way around the top of the shorts. So I use these shorts when I'm running longer distances and I need to carry some stuff with me. So like half marathon races and above and long runs. And for example, I ran a half marathon in London recently where I had, but let me just show you. First of all, I mean, you can see the bulk of the soft flask here, but other than that, this looks pretty decent. And it's certainly, you can run very freely in them. So let me show you what I've got in here. I have got a Camel Black 14-ounce soft flask here. I've got my GoPro camera, and it's easy to pull that and put it back in when you're doing shots during the race. I've got in my back pocket here my phone. Also got my wallet, and then in the front, easy to get at, gel number 1, my goo, gel number 2, these e-gels, gel number 3. Oh, first of all, there's my keys, they're hanging here. Gel number 3, another goo, and finally, really those bigger UCAN packets. I've not run a marathon in these yet, but I've got absolutely no problem thinking about how I could gear up and run a marathon in these. I also own this Trail Half tight at, I think it's $82, and again, tons of pockets. It's got kind of double ones on the side here, and they sit really snug on either side. There's a couple of back pockets as well. There's probably, oh yeah, and there's small inside pockets. So this is a great option too. The only thing I would say about this is I've run with these a few times, and I'm kind of, as an older runner, it's not a great look running in tights. Let's be honest with ourselves, guys. So I have managed to save these from a fashion perspective by combining them with another no-no for old men, which are these 3-inch split shorts. I mean, the lightest shorts you'll ever own. But again, guys, let's not kid ourselves. This is not a good look for an older runner. But put the two together, and this is a really nice option. And so I think if you're considering looking for shorts or tights for a longer race, half marathon or marathon, either the multi-shorts or these are a fantastic option. I think it comes down to what's your preference in terms of the feel of compression against your skin, and also the multi-shorts have easier access to gels around the waistband, but I think these have a nice snugger fit probably on these side pockets. But overall, two fantastic options. In terms of Vuori's options for the compressed ones, I used to run in these Stockton shorts all the time. In fact, I've run in 2 marathons with these fantastic deep pockets here that, you know, can get all your gels and all your flasks in. Unfortunately, Vuori discontinued these, but they do have a new version that I think has a lighter outer here, and I think the newer Vuori version is called the Fullerton short. These are the Janji 5-inch AFO middle shorts, $64 list price. They are extremely light. They have a front small pocket here that holds a key. It's got a loop, which is good. And then there's a back zippered pocket that can hold a phone. You can see I've got my phone in here. The phone sits pretty snugly, but I prefer not to run with the phone in the back because the appeal of these shorts is just how light and airy they feel. They just they're a joy to put on and run, and I really love running in these, and I try to put as little in them as possible just to have that nice airy feel with them. They work extremely well. I will run in these for anything up to an hour because after an hour I'm carrying gels or water or something like that. And also, although they work fantastically well, when I've been running in Florida in these longer than an hour, they start to get like sodden and kind of clinging to you. But up to an hour, fantastic, and I really love these shorts. So Vuori makes a similar short to these called the Course Run short. I think it's $78. It's a slightly thicker liner. They call it boxer brief liner, and it does have a pocket in the side, which the Janji ones don't have. Also has the phone pocket in the back, which is a little snugger. I do like these a lot. And if you're someone who likes to carry a lot of gear even on shorter runs, then I think they give you that little bit more option with the side pocket. Vuori also makes the Kore short here at $68 with a boxer brief liner. I consider these more gym shorts than running shorts. I think the other two are a better option, but I do enjoy wearing them to the gym, and you can kind of wear them in the pool as well, I guess. The Janji alternative is called the Traverse short, and similar, it's got a liner, but it also has zippered pockets. The Kore one doesn't have the zippered pockets, so again, if you like carrying more stuff, then these are probably a better option. These are the Vuori Banks shorts at $68 UNLINED. I like to run on the beach in these. They've got a really just simple, clean, nice look to them. Good SPF protection. Also one of Vuori's recycled options with I think about 48% polyester in them. The Janji equivalent are these Transit Tech pants, again unlined. These have got, like Janji usually has, the zipper pockets, so you know, a bit more secure storage than the bank shorts. I like this kind of Tony Hamptons kind of look, and so if I'm going out for dinner or something in here in Florida, I certainly wear these over these because they've got a bit more of a technical look to them. But I will say this, I've had these on for the last 5 days and just tooling around the house, doing errands and so on. Vuori also makes these Ponto shorts at $78. It's the same really soft material that they call it their dream knit fabric, and they have these in a pair of sweats that I'm going to talk about in a bit. But I just think, given all the other shorts I've covered, there are better workout options than these. This is the Helio Tech T from Janji at $66, and it's by far my favourite running top that I own. It's got a ton of really cool features. The prime one of which I'll show you on another one is this kind of raised material on the inside, which seems to wick really well and push all the moisture out to the outside of this, so it becomes a very, very comfortable shirt while you're running, even in hot temperatures. Other things I like about it, the low neck here, while not exactly fashionable, really works well staying out of the way while you're running. There's a lack of seams all over here, the raglan type sleeve, just this shirt just doesn't get in the way. The colours that it comes in can be really cool. There's usually some kind of message on the back. Janji markets this t-shirt as their kind of temperate climate running t-shirt, and the run all day t-shirt as their hot one, but in all but the hottest Florida weather, I've reached for this first over the run all day tee. This is the run all day tank from Janji, and it's typical of the kind of zazzy colours that Janji has. Technically this is great, it wicks really well, nice low collar here, really super light. I never feel it getting in the way at all, and it doesn't really cling compared to another couple of tank tops that I've got. I've got their run all day tees as well. Both of these are all recycled polyester. The Vuori technical tee range is extensive and can be a little bit confusing. For example, I own 5 different types of Vuori t-shirt. So the first 3 are their kind of meshier ones. So Tuvalu, Zephyr, Tradewind Performance. This is each of those, and you can see they've all got a little bit of a mesh on them. I used to run races all the time in the Tradewind Performance tee, and I do really like it. It wicks well, stays out of the way, but it's got a pocket that for me is entirely functionless, and that just put me off it. All of these 3 are considerably heavier than the 2 Janji t-shirts. But if you live in a more temperate climate, certainly fantastic options if you like a nice meshed running shirt. I'm wearing the Strato Tech Tee from Vuori, and I'll use this for running, for light workouts, even casually. It's really good, it wicks really well. The anti-odor properties work really well on it. It dries quickly. You could easily keep it on after a light run. Best of all, it's super soft and comfortable. But my favorite of all the Vuori t-shirts is this one here, which is the Current Tech Tee. I ran in 79 degrees in this at the weekend, and wicked really well, didn't stick to my skin. It's got a bit more structure than the other Vuori tees and the Janji tees. I think, like, if you take for example this pattern on the shoulder here, I think gives it that bit more structure and adds to the look. So casually traveling, this is great, and I can combine this when I'm traveling on the road for travel wear, casual wear and running. Here are the Ponto performance pants from Vuori. By far, no question, the most comfortable pair of sweatpants I have ever had. Love these. I wear these casually. I've run a half marathon in them in cooler weather. They're great aeroplane pants. So I've worn these to fly transatlantic, and then to go out for breakfast in them when I arrive, and then sightsee the whole day, and then a jog in the evening in them. For lounging around the house, they're just wonderful. They've got no tight cuffs at the bottom, so if you were wearing them on top of shorts, really easy to take on and off. There's a zip pocket at the back, a couple of decent long pockets here. I can't talk highly enough about these pants. If you prefer like cuffs or a more baggy look, Vuori offer the Sunday performance pants and the Balboa pants. More loungewear than workout gear, those 2 pants, but I've seen and tried both on, and they're comfortable. Vuori also make something called the Fleet Pant, which I used to own, which is a more nylon-y type feel material to it, more traditional jogger. The alternative from Janji is these, which are the Transit Tech pants. These are $98, and the ones from Vuori I mentioned, the fleet ones are $128, and these are every bit as good as the fleet pants. So I think if you like this kind of feel, this is the better option. Again, the zippered side pockets and so on. I'm going to show you this because with these and with the Vuori ones, this kind of material stains really easily. Now, that's not a big deal if you're out running in them in a trail or whatever, but if you're considering them casually, there's always little marks on this kind of material. This is the outdoor trainer shell at $118 from Vuori. Really lightweight. The anti-odor properties on this are great when you're running a long distance in them, and I've run half marathons in it. The hood stays out of the way, but it's really secure when you put it on. They've got a phone pocket here that you can see the phone protruding here, but when I'm running with this, it really doesn't move around a lot. It's the only jacket I ever need in Florida. I'll wear it casually, I'll wear it when it's raining, and the rain properties on it are pretty decent. I also got gifted the Vuori Venture track jacket here, which is good. It doesn't have the hood, it is lightweight. I find the anti-odor properties aren't as great, and I got a little bit put off it when my daughter said, combined with these Ponto pants, it's kind of my Hunger Games look. I've not tried any of the Janji shells, but they do have something called a Zephyr Windrunner shell at $128, so that's probably worth looking at. And then just finally, a special mention to the Vuori beanie. As a soft Florida guy, when I go abroad to run, I'll have this on all the time, and I just, I like the look of it. It stays secure. I'd run in pretty heavy rain in this, and it takes a long time for your head to get wet in. So that's it. I hope that's given you a good introduction to each of those two brands and their fantastic gear. You can judge for yourself which you think suits you best, but I'd highly recommend them both. I hope this video has been useful for you, and if it has, please give me a like, and also please consider subscribing to An Old Man Running. Thank you.